We are intaking food, so we can't find any food particles here if we cut the heart rate. That means only like nutrition is going to all over the human body, living body. So that nutrition is collected from the digestive tract through the blood. The blood is collecting the nutrients and providing it throughout the body. So the first function of blood is providing nutrition. Second function is getting oxygen from the lungs and giving it all over the body. Third one is to regulate the body temperature. So in order to fulfill all these conditions of the blood must be dynamic, or the blood must be moving. So in order to keep the blood moving, the heart pumps the blood and helps to move all over the body throughout the lifetime, before birth till death. Now first we will come to the normal anatomy, basic anatomy of the heart. They will go and dissect the internal parts later. So the heart from the outside, if you see, this is the conical shaped, hollow, fibromuscular organ pumping blood through the body. And the heart is present from the second to the fifth ribs. Here we can see, if we connect these things, anyone can come and check. This is the second rib. From the second, third, fourth, fifth, this till here. It's not covering till the sixth rib. It's ending between the fifth and sixth ribs. So we must remove the sternum and the manubrium in order to take out the heart. Okay, and there is the rectus abdominis, and this is the pectoralis major, this is the pectoralis minor. Then we must remove the ribs. So now the outer surface anatomy of the heart basically deals with the size, shape, weight, and all of the basic things. Now the weight of the heart is almost 300 grams in male and 250 grams in female. But if anybody want to hold it, this is more, because it is filled with blood. Now if we can clean it, maybe the weight will come nearer to 300 grams. Now this the left side is conical, and it is having this surface. If we cover this, this is facing towards the sternum and towards the costal bone. So this side is called the sternocostal surface. This is the entry of the sternocostal surface. Now this is called the apex. The base of the heart is a little different. It is on the superior surface. This side is facing towards the diaphragm. So this is the diaphragmatic surface, and this side is left, broad and elongated surface. So this is the left surface. Now from the front view, we can see here the blood is having four borders. This is the inferior border, this is the superior border, like this is the right border, this is the left border, right? Now like we'll come to know about the chambers. Or everyone knows that there is four chambers in the heart, the two atriums and the two ventricles. Now the two atrium, should I go deeper to like this atrium shape size?
Yes.
Okay. This venous blood from all over the body is collected by the right atrium. The right atrium is having three orifices, because the venous blood is collected from the one is the superior vena cava, second is the inferior vena cava, and third is the tricuspid valve inside the atrium. Tricuspid valve orifice in female, the circumference of the tricuspid valve. This is very important. The circumference in female is 10.4 centimeter, and in male it's 11.47 centimeter. The circumference of the mitral valve. You can dissect and see inside. It is controlled by the papillary muscles and tendine chondri. Tendine chondri is the tendon. Papillary muscles is the muscle which is closing and opening the both the bicuspid and tricuspid valve. From there, after the venous blood is collected in the right atrium, it is going to the right ventricle, and from the right ventricle, it is directly pumping out the blood to the pulmonary artery. In the pulmonary artery, there is a valve called the pulmonary valve, and from there it is getting divided into two parts to the two lungs. This circulation of these lungs is called pulmonary circulation, because the term pulmonary refers to anything related to the lungs. So this is having a lesser pressure. So this side is having a lesser pressure than the left side. I'll come to the left side later. So now after getting the blood oxygenated from the lungs, it is coming back to the left atrium through the four pulmonary veins. Now there is a exception in the name called the pulmonary vein and the pulmonary artery. Now why is that? It's not necessary always that the vein and the artery size for the size. Just remember one thing: heart, the organ never receives anything from arteries, and never gives anything to the veins. You can check cross, it will come like that only. After receiving the oxygenated blood in the left atrium through the bicuspid valve, it is going to the left ventricle, and then from that it is going to the aorta, to the aortic valve, and then spreading over the whole body. Now there is a very, just imagine at the same time our toe, the tip of the toe is receiving oxygenated blood, the most inferior part, and this brain, most importantly the brain is receiving the oxygenated blood at the same time. So how is it possible giving this much amount of blood to each and every parts of the body? Because here the pressure is almost 3 times of the left side. That is why the layer wall thickness is almost the 3 times of the right side. The left wall thickness is almost 3 times of the right side. This is the reason why there is the ventricular wall difference on the thickness. Now what is this? Pulmonary system in circulation, coronary circulation. Yes. Now, like as we need to eat for being living, the heart also need to eat something. So the heart is pumping all the way blood out from its chambers. Then from the left ventricle, the amount of blood pumped is called the stroke volume. Now, before going out, the oxygenated blood first is giving nutrition to the heart itself through a special circulation called the coronary circulation. Now, there is 2 coronary arteries, namely, it is having the different branches. Namely, 2 coronary arteries. First is the right coronary artery, then the left coronary artery. I have dissected, you can check. This is the right coronary artery. Opening of the right coronary artery from the right coronary sinus. And this right coronary artery is smaller than the left coronary artery. Right coronary artery is providing only 40%, but the left one is providing almost 60% of the heart.